And Jokic said after every game, I want to win. I care about winning.
Yeah.
And they asked him, do you care about MVP? He says, no, I don't care about MVP. Give it.
Just because he said that, dog. Come on now.
Shaq literally said to him, this is Shaq's MVP. And Jokic said, all right, I don't care.
So what? What does that mean? What is the evidence showing you? What is the evidence showing you? A center is playing point guard. Why? Now look on there and count the rings. How many rings you see?
On the right side?
On the left side. On the left side. How many rings you see?
I see LeBron and Jokic. So.
How many rings is that?
It's like 5.
5 rings. How many players over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 players over there. Only 5 rings. 6 players, only 5 rings. Why is it that everyone who plays primary facilitator and primary scorer is having a hard time winning rings?
But I mean, you have to put in context to that. Like,
well, put in the context for me.
What they did.
Why are they having a hard time? Okay, well, let's put this in context. On the right side, these are the guys who did not do that. They did not choose to be the primary scorer and the primary facilitator at the same time. How many rings?
Well, Hakeem doesn't have 5 rings. You think Hakeem?
How many rings do you see on that side?
I see a lot more.
A lot more, right? So why is the rings following the players who play where they choose one of them, where I'm either going to be either or, the primary scorer or the primary facilitator, versus doing both? So if you put Jokic in the pot with everybody on the right, and you say at some point there was the face of the league and considered the best in the world, Jokic is the only one out of all those people on that right side who has never led a team to 60 plus wins, and he's never led a team to multiple rings.
Well, I mean, his career is not done, so I don't really.
Yeah, you're right. His career is not done, but it's very eye opening that it's something that he's not doing correctly. If you're considered in the same conversation with those people on the right, but you can't get the results as those people on the right. There's something wrong with his formula, and people don't want to admit it. And if you like Jokic, you got to be honest about it. Like if enough people, hold on, let me finish this. If enough people in the media and enough people in the fan base start saying this out loud, then eventually it's going to get to the people who need to hear it, and then he might change the way he played and the way his style is. And he might try to win more. If you want Jokic to win, you have to stop pretending like triple doubles mean just as much as getting rings. You got to stop celebrating that triple double, and you got to start asking him, please play defense, please come off the ball and let your point guard run the show. Caller from Washington, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, this is the top about Jokic.
Oh, okay, what's up? What's your thoughts?
So you blaming Jokic for the offense, right?
No.
What's your point then? It's like you want Jokic to be a center and have Murray be a point guard?
Of course, Jokic is a center and Murray is a point guard. So yeah, I would.
So you think
I would like? Hold on, let me ask him a question. So I would like to see that because I think it'd be harder to guard for opposing teams. And my example for that is the San Antonio Spurs. If you got a dominant post player like Tim Duncan, and then you have an equal opportunity offense where the ball is moving and popping, it's very hard to guard. And you could, the Miami Heat big three had a hard time dealing with those guys, right?
But who was the shooting guard for the Spurs? Who was the shooting guard for them? Wasn't it Bowen?
Bruce Bowen? No, not when Tony Parker was there. Bruce Bowen was the
Ginobili, right?
Ginobili was a 6-man. He came off the bench. Their starting shooting guard was different every year. One year they might have had Bellinelli. One year they may have had they had some other guys that was pretty good defensively. Some 3-and-D guys.
They were shooters, right? They could shoot the ball.
Danny Green was there one time. All of that good stuff. Yeah. So
I don't know if you know who Christian Brown is, but he's terrible offensively.
Christian Brown. That's not gonna make a difference whether you can play an equal opportunity offense or not.
No, it does matter because teams they lay off him when he plays on the court.
Yeah, but it still doesn't matter about playing equal opportunity offense. Like you don't need shooters everywhere to play this offense. Like you don't, and if you do, just go get a shooter. Like it's not hard.
Yeah,
like you got.
That's why they got Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay, they got Tim Hardaway Jr. and they got Cam Johnson. Yeah. But listen to what I'm saying, because I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it. Here's my point. With the San Antonio Spurs, you got a dominant post player in Tim Duncan. With the Denver Nuggets, you have a dominant post player in Jokic. With the San Antonio Spurs, you have a point guard capable of getting in the paint and scoring points, and especially once he got a little older, a capable jump shot. His three-point shot wasn't as good as Murray's, but his jump shot was, right? So Tony Parker was a facilitator and a scorer. Jamal Murray can be a facilitator and a scorer, and his three-point shot is way better than Tony Parker's. He's way capable of doing what Tony Parker did for the Spurs. All right, so if you hold on, I'm not done. So if you play that offense and you're using Jokic in the post to dominate, and he's drawing double teams, that creates your offense already, because now you dishing out the pass from the double team, and that starts the rotation of the defense, and you're going to get anything you want off of that, on top of the fact that Murray is running the offense and setting everybody else up, including Jokic. It's very dangerous. And then sometimes you can still use Jokic the way you want to use him, but you're not going to the well with it. So the whole point is this. Can we agree on this? Do you have to, in Denver, play triple-double basketball with Jokic?
No, but he
okay, hold on. So the answer is no. So now that we can agree that the answer is no, you don't have to play that. The next question is, then if you don't have to play triple-double basketball with Jokic, and Jokic don't have to be the point guard for the team, then why are they doing it?
Because sometimes they do, because they don't have ball handlers. If they have
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. They had Westbrook and Jamal Murray last year. How you don't have enough? Hold on, stop it. Hold on, you just lied, sir. You just lied, sir. You just lied.
He averaged 5 turnovers.
Sir, you just lied. You just lied. Westbrook and Jamal Murray is enough ball. Sir, you just lied. Jokic is a turnover machine. He averaged 4, almost 5.
In the playoffs, Westbrook versus OKC.
Listen, my brother. Hold on. I let you talk, but you can't lie when you talk, because I gotta butt in. They do have enough ball handlers, so Jokic does not need to do that. You just agreed with me that they don't need to have him play point center. Jamal,
they have to let him.
Is Jamal? What they're not doing it while Murray's out. They're doing it while Murray's in.
Did you not watch the Minnesota Christmas game?
They're doing it while Murray is in the game. They're doing it while Murray is in the game. Did you not just see Jalen Pickett last night? Can he handle the ball?
Yeah. And you know why he didn't play last year?
Hold on. Can he handle the ball?
Yes, he can.
All right, so you just lied again.
OKC, probably not.
You just lied again.
Against OKC, he cannot handle the ball.
Okay.
Ball pressure.
So for one team, it's 30 other ones. So for one team, so you telling me because of one team, that's why we gonna let Jokic play triple-double basketball? Sir, you got to be honest with yourself. So what full court press is Jokic breaking?
He's 7 feet tall. They're not gonna full court press him.
Oh my God, why? Because he gonna break it by himself, big dog.
He's gonna pass it. They don't full court press Jokic. They'll full court press Jalen Pickett, and Jalen Pickett will average 5 turnovers a game.
He's not even gonna get that many minutes to average 5 turnovers, dog. If it's the playoffs, they only going 8 deep for their roster. They're probably playing 3 guys
doing versus OKC last year. He was turnovering everything.
Russ wasn't even playing point guard. He was standing in the corner like a 3-point shooter last year. He was going to the corner, and he was actually knocking the ball down. Jokic was playing point center just like always. How old are you, sir?
I'm 25.
Man, you first of all, you learn how to converse with people, right? Learn how to converse with people first and foremost. But we'll continue this.
I'm just going to see if you actually watch games.
Well, hold on. We can't be scatterbrained, right? We actually got.
I want to break down tape with you, and I'll show you footage.
We
someday maybe we can do it.
Bro, stop. Listen, we can't be scatterbrained. Right, so you call and you ask me, Well, your question was, I want Jamal Murray to be a point guard and Jokic to be a center. So let's stay there. So yes, I want Jamal Murray to be a point guard and Jokic to be a center. Is that what you want or no?
I said it's a good mix between, but did you also know that Murray's
hold on. We're not. Hold on. No. I'm asking the questions. I'll let you get to yours as well, but don't answer my question and then try to come back with something. We got to unpack it, right? So you want Murray to play point guard and Jokic play center? Yes or no?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you mean by sometimes?
I think they should mix it up sometimes. Because that's what they do. They have Murray play off ball and act as like a Steph Curry type of shooter where he comes off the screen, attracts the defender, and is an off ball Steph Curry Murray 3. And then you get other times where Murray's a point guard, Jokic comes off ball, or Jokic operates in the post. You can mix it up. So defense have to adjust.
Okay, yeah. I think we're saying the same thing. All right.
Because Jokic can pick and pop. That's what he did against Minnesota. He picked and popped 3 times in the clutch.
I think it should look different depending on what the matchup is and what the game plan is. I don't think the game plan every night should be for Jokic to pad his assist stats. Like he's averaging 11 assists. His point guard is averaging 7. That's something's wrong with it. Do you not agree?
No, I think Murray's just focused on scoring this year.
No, but he shouldn't be. Who's the best scorer on the team?
Murray's the best scorer, but Jokic is the most efficient scorer.
No. Who's the best scorer? Like who's whenever Jokic touches the ball, he's getting doubled immediately because he's unstoppable in the post. Jokic is the best scorer, is he not?
He's the most efficient scorer.
No. He's the best scorer.
No, he's not.
He's not the best scorer.
He's the most efficient scorer, meaning the post bucket and the floater is the most efficient in NBA. But Murray he's a 3-level scorer.
Oh, so hold on. Jokic score in the post, correct?
Yeah.
And he scores at an A+ level in the post, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. His mid-range, A+ as well, correct?
Yeah.
At the free throw, he's about a B, correct?
Yeah.
And at the 3-point line, he's a B as well, correct?
Yeah, but he doesn't have range.
Hold on. That's all 4 levels, brother.
Yeah, but he does not have handles like ready to break down the
defense. I didn't say who got the best handles. I said who's the better scorer.
That matters in scoring.
Who's the mismatch? Like who has a mismatch with 99% of his matchups? Jokic or Murray?
Jokic, but Murray.
Okay, hold on. You got to stop doing that, brother. When I ask you questions, hold on. All right, Jokic, you got answer the question and just answer it. Don't try to give me nothing back and start a new conversation. No, we stand with one conversation. Don't answer it and then give me another conversation. So Jokic is the mismatch for 99% of the NBA, almost really 100%. Like who, when he gets the ball in the post, who can stop him other than maybe Embiid when he was healthy? But everybody else is barbecue chicken. Maybe Zubac when he's playing his best, but he just gave Zubac 50 last month. So Jokic is a walking mismatch. The walking mismatch is the better scorer. Right? So let's put a pin in it. So Jokic,
Kobe or Shaq, who's a better scorer?
Hold on, Kobe.
But why? Shaq's a mismatch.
No, because Kobe has mastered every part of scoring.
But Shaq's a mismatch, so shouldn't Shaq be?
Yeah. Kobe's a mismatch as well, though. He's a mismatch for 99% in the NBA as well. And
Shaq is like nobody can stop Shaq. They had to triple team him.
Yeah. And Shaq can. Let's do the same thing we just did with Jokic. Shaq is an A+ in the post, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where else is he above a C? Not the free throw line, not the 3-point line, not the mid range, correct?
But you don't need that though.
No, I'm asking you a question. Shaq is an A+ in the post, correct? What is he mid range?
Not good, but
probably a D. What is he at the free throw line? A F. What is he at the 3-point line? A F.
Yeah.
Kobe is A+ in the post, A+ in the mid range, A+ at the free throw line, A+ at the 3-point line. He's the better scorer.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this point right here. Since Jokic is the better scorer, how about we utilize his scoring ability and we let his co-star facilitate the offense? Because right now, what we're doing is we're asking Jokic to be the primary scorer and the primary facilitator. So why would you give him two roles that are that important when you can split them between him and his co-star?
That's not their personalities, though. So Jokic wants to pass, and Murray just said today he wants to be a scoring champion and MVP. He just said today Murray wants to score the ball, and Jokic wants to pass the ball.
Well, like what's going to be harder to score the guard if you're trying to win, brother? What's going to be harder to guard?
Jokic. But I'm saying
no. I'm saying what combination is going to be harder for teams to stop? Jokic trying to facilitate and Murray trying to score, or Jokic trying to score and Murray facilitate? Like one of them got, like, I don't care which one, swap it off.
They mix it up. That's why they won a title. They mixed it up in the title year.
That's not what they're doing right now. Right now, it's all Jokic. He's averaging 11.5 assists, dog. What are you not understanding?
He's just doing it right now because the regular season's different. Because regular season, people don't play defense like the playoffs. Because they just don't, like, unless you're OKC, regular season, people don't play defense. So that's how it works.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
But I'll say this. The offense is also a lot different this year. Murray's playing a lot better because a new coach. Mike Malone did not play Jalen Pickett. He did not play Zeke Naji, Peyton Watson. He benched all of them, and he did not play them at all.
They're not playing them this year either.
No, Jalen Pickett's getting playtime.
After everybody, Peyton Watson is, but after everybody got injured, now Pickett got a little bit of tick, but that's just recent.
Pickett was playing before that too in limited minutes.
Still a little bit though. You saying a little bit?
Yeah, he was productive. And then also, Peyton Watson, Mike Malone was benching him all the time, not giving him any time at all. So, I mean, you're going to say all these players that Jokic had, yeah, he did have them, but Mike Malone didn't use them at all.
Yeah.
That's why he got fired.
Yeah, but you making my point for me, though. Like, the narrative, the narratives are dead. The narrative that he didn't have help and the narrative that he had, and the narrative that he has to play triple-double basketball.
I don't know what you mean triple-double. So in the Olympics, you average triple-double. You think you was stat padding in the Olympics or no?
I don't know about it. I didn't watch none of his games in the Olympics.
Well, he was averaging triple-double, and he almost beat the Avengers. So do you think he was purposely stat padding?
Do they have a point guard that's capable of running the point and distributing?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, well, yeah, that means Jokic was stat padding.
So Jokic was stat padding Olympics. The one thing he wanted to win the most, he was stat padding it.
Yes, if he's playing point guard, if he's playing point forward, he's stat padding.
You also realize the advantage of having a 7-foot passer, though. He's 7 feet tall. He can look over everyone and pass the ball.
If he's playing point forward, he's stat padding. If you have a point guard, like why else would you do it? If you have a point guard, that's supposed to be doing that, but you're doing it at 7 foot, then you're stat padding. I'm sorry.
Do you know most of his passes come in the post when he's being doubled?
In the high post?
He gets in the post, they double him, and then he looks for the pass. He looks for the open person.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with him passing out of the post at all.
Like, you gotta watch the games.
I have a problem with him running point guard, point center, point forward, whatever you want to call it. I have a problem with that.
You should. I'm telling you, we can break down the game together because I don't have any beef with you because you actually have some good points. But I'm telling you, most of the time, Jokic and Murray, they do a 2-man game. Murray goes up top. Jokic goes to the post, then he passes.
Yeah, but but listen, the 2-man game was a game that dimmed the light of Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. Right? How could you have Michael Porter? How could you have Michael Porter Jr. as your 4th best player and somebody who had a monster game in the finals to help y'all win? And
he averaged 9 points in the finals.
And you know how good this guy is. And
people have to sacrifice. Lamar Odom had to sacrifice. People have to sacrifice to win championships. This is how it works. Scottie Pippen had a good season without MJ. He had to sacrifice. People have to sacrifice to win.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Everybody has to sacrifice to win.
You can have averaging 25, Jokic averaging 40, MPJ averaging 50. You can't.
Everybody has to sacrifice to win. But here's the point: some of the people that is making sacrifice are in their rightful place. Like, say for instance, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is a legit number 2. So him doing work as a number 2 is cool. Horace Grant is a legit number 3. Like, he can't be a number 1 or a number 2. Number 3 is his perfect spot, right? Lamar Odom, his sacrifice, he was a legit number 3. You got Kobe Powell, and like, they're playing in their rightful spot. When you have a Chris Bosh who's a legit number 1 who has to play number 3 for you, or Michael Porter Jr. who's a legit number 2 that has to play number 4 for you, you're pushing people. Or Kevin Love who's a legit number 2 that had to play number 3 for LeBron. Like, these guys are downgrading their game and saying, I'm not going to use half of what I could do so I could stand in the corner and watch 2 people play basketball and I just wait for a catch.
In the championship year, they had to
hold on. You got to no. You got to deal with what I said. You can't move on. You have to deal with what I said. So in Michael Porter Jr.'s case, he's someone that's capable of averaging 26 points a game and making all-star. And the offense, the 2-man game that you're bragging about is so flawed that y'all actually thought Michael Porter Jr. couldn't create his own shot.
Well, I've never said that, but
hold on. Most of the fans say it. I'll pull up the comment and put it on screen right now. Michael Porter Jr. can't create his own shot. If he's the focus of the defense, he can't do jack. More Jokic fans think like that than you think. I say 75%.
Denver's problem is offense or defense? It's defense.
It's both.
MPJ scoring more is not going to make Denver better.
It's both.
They have a number 1 offense. They have a number 1 offense.
Yeah. But what are they offense? You just said the regular season don't count, didn't you?
In the playoffs, they have a number 1 offense too.
When? The playoffs ain't started yet, brother.
I'm saying almost every year they have a number 1 offense.
Hold on, the playoffs ain't started yet, brother. How they got the number 1 offense in the playoffs?
They're always a good number. They're always a good offense. They've been for years now.
Okay, then what? Then if the offense was so fine, why y'all keep talking about? Hold on. If the offense was number 1, why y'all talking about the bench is trash?
Because when the starter is shit, someone needs to actually do something.
Oh, okay, but you can't have the number 1 offense if your bench ain't doing nothing.
Last year, the starters were a plus 43 versus OKC. When Jamal and Jokic sat, the bench was a minus 500 because they came in and they did not do anything. That's what happened last year.
So how did they do that and had a number 1 offense, though?
Their starters had a number 1 offense. They're starting.
They don't. No, hold on. No, the team. Not the starters. They don't separate it by if the team had the number 1. They do. So did the team have the number 1 offense or not?
The starting 5.
The starting 5 did. Okay, all right.
Net rated offense.
The starting 5 had the number 1 offense. You know what San Antonio did when they wasn't getting enough from their defense? I mean, when they wasn't getting enough from their bench, you know what they did?
Yeah, they put Ginobili on the.
Simple as that. All they had to do was put Michael Porter Jr. on the bench and say, "Come out here and give me 25."
They tried that, but it didn't work out. So also
you want to know what you want to know why it didn't work out?
I'm not blaming MPJ at all. I'm blaming Coach Malone for misusing him. He was a bad coach.
Dude, come on, man.
Why do you think he got fired? Do you think people just get fired for no reason?
You tell me why he got fired.
Even MPJ said, yeah, Malone didn't use me that well. Why would he say that?
No, he was talking about the new coach as well.
No, I'm talking about in a recent interview. He said, yeah, Malone didn't really use me like that. He didn't use me that much.
I got the interview, sir.
I'm saying it. I'm not talking about that interview.
And I think Michael, I think this trade was good for everybody. He won a championship with us. He's one of the main reasons we did it. I woke up today, we talked about their team, and the first thing I thought of was Game 5 when we won it. Mike's the shot he made above the break 3, the through the legs finish, coming from the weak side, contesting. Some of the things he did in that game, that was his game. It really was. Yeah, Mike he's a shot maker. He's really tall.
Lead option role and maintaining the efficiency. Has that at all surprised you, or was it something where you guys felt maybe he had that in him, but it was just the circumstances, the role wasn't there for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you win the whole thing, the role was appropriate. So Michael's, we know how talented he is. I think the thing that he doesn't get enough credit for, I said this in the playoffs, is he plays. And with the injuries he's had, I just don't think he gets enough credit for how tough he is. He's his game it's not the brand of his game, but it really is to see him day in, day out, maintenance himself so he can be available. Was the most impressive thing for me, daily. And I just, Mike has this ability. He always has. But for us, he sacrificed, and that's just the way it was. Our 2-man game it's been successful. And him in the corner with Aaron Gordon, the dunker, was quite a thing. And so it's Michael, I thought we used him the right way. I'm sure he would disagree with me completely, which is okay. But yeah, we won a lot of games doing it that way. So it's cool to see him have some more freedom here under Jordy. It's fun to watch.
It's not the enemy I'm talking about, but yeah, I've heard this.
He said that we used him the right way. We put him in the corner. We put Aaron Gordon in the dunker, and we played our 2-man game. He said, I'm pretty sure Michael Porter would disagree with me. So he knows that Michael Porter was complaining about not being used the right way. You think a person as outspoken as Michael Porter Jr.
Well,
the same guy in the bubble who came out and said something about Coach Malone and how he played him. This is a second-year player said this in the bubble in the playoffs about Mike Malone. He's outspoken. So you think he ain't told them I could do more? Like let me do more. Let me help y'all. We shouldn't be dropping these games. Let me help y'all. I can do more than be Klay Thompson and just shoot threes.
Every player thinks. Can I tell you this? MPJ, he's on the Brooklyn Nets. Do you think Lamar Odom on the Brooklyn Nets in 2026 can average 25 in this pace? Where Keontae George is averaging almost 26. Keontae George. Do you think Lamar Odom in this era could do the same thing? Average 25.
I think Lamar Odom could average a triple-double in this era. Yeah, I agree.
Lamar Odom's averaging 30.
No, right. Yeah, I think Lamar Odom, if you switch him out with Jokic and give him all the touches and he can just pass and have shooters all at the 3-point line, I think he can average a 30-point triple-double. Yeah, you're right.
So you're saying this era is terrible?
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is they made this era easier for stats and scoring. Yes, they did that.
So you're saying you're saying MPJ, his scoring is useless, kind of.
No. I'm saying triple doubles are useless because Lamar Odom can get it on Denver right now.
Scoring isn't useless when you have like 20, 30-point scorers from different people in the NBA right now. The most ever 30 point scorers in the NBA.
Right. And guess what scoring actually contributes to? Assists. So if you're going to say something about scoring, you have to say something about assists as well. They're both easier, right? So
do you think MPJ is leading
so
to
you're not
championship? Yes
so
or no?
you think you are trying to downplay MPJ, but when you downplay him, you got
He's a good player.
Dude, if you cut me off again, we go end this conversation really quick. But if you downplay MPJ because of this era, you have to downplay every player because of this era. You can't downplay MPJ and then say, but yeah, what Jokic is doing is phenomenal. No. The assists, the points, everything that Jokic is getting is just as downplayed as what you're saying MPJ 26 points a game is. It works both ways.
No, I agree with you. I downplay Shea, Jokic, Giannis. I downplay everyone.
Well, downplay everybody. That's fine. You can downplay this era. I'm not as long as you apply evenly across the board. I don't care what you say about this era. You know, if you're going to downplay MPJ, downplay your favorite player as well.
100%. I agree with you there because this era is a joke. Kobe would average like 40 in this era because this era is terrible. But yeah, but I'm just saying, MPJ also, like in the 2024 playoffs versus Minnesota, they gave him like, I don't know, 10 shots a game, and Jay McDaniels, who was the best defender, he locked him up.
Which finals?
If you I'm saying versus Minnesota in
last
2024.
Year? 2024?
2024, Minnesota.
Oh, okay. And what's your point?
I'm just saying, like, they've also gave him an opportunity and he hasn't showed up sometimes. So that it's hard to put trust in him.
What?
I'm not saying he's bad. But I'm saying in 2024 with Minnesota.
That don't even make sense, dog.
In 2024 with Minnesota, he didn't show up.
And Jokic didn't show up in Game 7 against Caruso.
I mean, I put blame on Jokic on like 2 games in OKC. He played
All right,
horrible.
sir. In this phone call, go ahead and get to your main point, and then we can end it.
My main point is like I agree with you that Jokic should like play center traditionally sometimes. Murray play point guard. I think they should mix it up, but I disagree with you that Jokic is a stat pattern. Because if you did that, then Jokic said after every game, "I want to win. I care about winning."
Yeah.
And they asked him, "Do you care about MVP?" He says, "No, I don't care about MVP. Give it."
Just because he said that, dog. Come on now.
Shaq literally said to him, "This is Shay's MVP," and Jokic said, "All right, I don't care."
So what? What does that mean? What is the evidence showing you? What is the evidence showing you? A center is playing point guard. Why? A primary scorer. A primary scorer has been the. All right. So let's go down the list. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. If you can break down film, that'd be good.
If you can see the screen, let's go. Right. Look on the left. Right. Hit the mute button on YouTube so it ain't no echo. Or turn it down. Just listen to me through the phone. So if you look on the left, all of those guys for their team was the primary scorer and the primary facilitator. Right. Let me get this. I want you to see Caitlin Clark face up there too. All of those are primary. All of those are primary scorer and primary facilitators. They're doing both roles. Look on the left and count how many rings you see over there. And mind you, the rings that LeBron got were on super teams. So if you're gonna play this style, you're making it harder for your team, and you need more on your roster to make it work. Like you need perfect players. You need all these 3-and-D guys. You just need so much to make it work. It's harder to make that work because it's a dying style. It's the lesser style of offense, right? Now look on there and count the rings. How many rings you see?
On the right side?
On the left side. On the left side. How many rings you see?
I see LeBron and Jokic. So
how many rings is that?
It's like 5.
5 rings. How many players over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 players over there. Only 5 rings. 6 players, only 5 rings. Why is it that everyone who plays primary facilitator and primary scorer is having a hard time winning rings?
But you have to put in context to that.
Put in the context for me.
What they did.
Why are they having a hard time? Okay, well, let's put this in context. On the right side, these are the guys who did not do that. They did not choose to be the primary scorer and the primary facilitator at the same time. How many rings?
Well, Hakeem doesn't have 5 rings. You think Hakeem?
How many rings do you see on that side?
I see a lot more.
A lot more, right? So why is the rings following the players who play where they choose one of them, where I'm either going to be either or, the primary scorer or the primary facilitator, versus doing both?
It's also context.
Well, okay. So here's the third question. Here's the third question. Here's the third question. On the left side, who got the most godlike stats? The left side, right? Jokic, Harden, LeBron,
MJ,
Westbrook,
Luka.
Well, because MJ is the GOAT. Of course, but
yeah. Magic Johnson has very good stats too.
Duncan and Magic stats are not godlike, and whatever Kareem stats are godlike is what he's supposed to be doing, which is scoring and rebounding. His assists are crazy, but that's what he's supposed to be doing. Michael Jordan scoring, Kobe Bryant scoring was crazy. That's what they're supposed to do. But they're not trying to. They're not trying to get top 5 in scoring and assists. They choose another player to do those roles. But on the left side,
can I ask you a question?
On the left side, they're trying to do both. Why is it that you think that it's harder to get rings doing both than it is with doing one? Why is less? So
how does Steph Curry have that many?
No, you got to answer my question. Why is less more?
I think there's context involved. I think you're partially
right. Well, break it down for me. I'm saying,
why does Hakeem not have 3 or 4 rings? Do you think that
because Michael Jordan was playing in his era? Next.
So now there's context. To it, right?
Okay. So why is the guys on the left? Why is the guys on the left is harder to get rings than the guys on the right?
Well, I can explain the context.
Go ahead.
Jokic, he's dealing with teammate injuries. 2021, Murray, MPJ. 2022, Murray, MPJ. 2023, they were healthy. They won. 2024, Murray was hurt, calf strain, completely hurt in the 2024 playoffs. 2025, Jokic did not play good. I'll blame that on him because I'm not a Jokic stan, and I'll blame him for the games because he played bad. So that's partially the reason why. LeBron has 4 rings, but he just joined the super team, so I don't really count his. Harden, he had to face Steph Curry in that ultimate team. He played actually pretty well. Chris Paul got injured in Game 7. Russell Westbrook, he's inefficient. At every triple-double machine he does, he's inefficient. Luka cannot play defense, and he doesn't move the ball at all. So, yeah, these are all my contexts.
Okay. They got a lot in common, right? A lot of excuses, correct? Hold on. You forgot Caitlin Clark. You forgot Caitlin Clark. Why Caitlin Clark? Ain't got nothing.
No, I don't even watch her. So
okay, all right. So a lot of excuses. So I need to add that to the list because I see losing, flopping, no defense, fake GOAT stats, MVPs, records. I need to put a lot of excuses on there to add it because I ain't think of that one.
But so Hakeem doesn't get it, right?
You just gave Hakeem got 2. And he got his the hard way.
Why doesn't he have more?
Because MJ was in this era and he hauled them up. He got 6 of them.
so now
he got 6 of them. Right? He got 6 of them. But
that's an excuse.
But you can throw Shaq up there too, and Shaq got 5. I mean, the point is
Shaq play with Dwayne Wade, Kobe. The point
is
Hall of Famers.
And so did LeBron and Jokic play with a lot of Hall of Famers. A lot of
Jamal Murray's Kobe Bryant.
I ain't saying that. But here's the point though. They got a lot of in common over there on the left. And winning is not those things, right? You gotta look at that and say that's a bad trend. Can we agree with that?
If Jokic wins this year, what will you say?
I would say good job for Jokic. If he won this year, that mean that he locked up on defense and his team locked in, and I would give him a congratulations just like I did when he won the first time. And then he might start to burn my narrative down because right now the narrative that he needs to play triple-double basketball and he don't have no help is getting burnt down.
Why does Giannis only have 1 too? Why does Giannis only have 1? Why does Giannis only have 1? Because Giannis isn't playing triple-double basketball.
Because he plays like the left side a little bit.
Giannis plays triple-double basketball?
Yeah.
But he's the defensive player of the year, and he works in the paint.
Yeah. He's the exception when it comes to that defense. Yeah, he has that defense. He's very flawed offensively, though. Yeah, so So
why does Shea only have 1?
He's just getting started, brother.
So if Shea loses this year, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say he got clapped. I'm gonna say the same thing.
He plays triple-double basketball.
Well, he doesn't.
You're gonna say he's on the left side too, then, right?
He doesn't play triple-double basketball though.
But I'm saying if he loses this year, then that'll be excuse. Like you're on the left side. You're hero ball.
No, they don't know. If you don't play hero ball, I'm not going to put you on the list with hero ball.
He does take he takes majority of the shots though.
Yeah, but he don't play primary. He don't play triple double basketball like they do. That's not what he does. And he locks up. Duncan didn't win it every year. He's never went back to back. You know what I mean? So winning it every year is not my criteria. That's not why I got them on the list. They didn't win it every year, but they won multiple times. So if SGA don't win it this year, he got a chance at winning it next year. Whoop-de-doo.
So what about Larry Bird?
Larry Bird would be on the right side. He doesn't.
Right side?
He didn't play primary scorer, primary facilitator basketball. Dennis Johnson was his point guard.
Kawhi on the right side, right? Kawhi
will be on the right side for sure.
Dirk
will be on the right side.
Dirk is the right side, but he only has 1.
I'm not counting rings and putting them there. I'm putting the people on the side who play.
The first thing you told me was compare the rings.
I know. I said compare the play style. Can you read? It say hero ball, team ball, and it.
Yeah, I know. But you're
right under it explains every single thing. So the whole point is one person or one side plays hero ball, triple double basketball, and the other side play team ball, and they play real basketball. And the results is that the people who play hero ball have a hard time winning, and the people who don't play hero ball is winning at a higher rate. at a higher clip.
All right, that's fair. But don't you think Dirk should have won more then? Dirk Nowitzki?
No, I don't think he should have won more. He's not on the level of these guys on the right side.
What about KG?
Yeah, it would have been nice for KG to win more. He did everything the right way. It just didn't work out.
So sometimes that's context, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out. It's hard to win. So,
yeah, but when you're considered the best player in the league, because if you look on the left side, let's just stick with Jokic. Jokic is considered the best player in the world, correct?
Yeah, him and Shea. Yeah.
Okay, so Jokic is considered the best player in the world. On the right side, at some point, Kareem was the best. At some point, Magic and Bird was the best. At some point, Jordan was the best. And at some point, Duncan and Kobe was the best. So if you put Jokic in the pot with everybody on the right, and you say at some point there was the face of the league and considered the best in the world, Jokic is the only one out of all those people on that right side who has never led a team to 60-plus wins, and he's never led a team to multiple rings.
Well, I mean, his career is not done, so I don't really.
Yeah, you're right. His career is not done, but it's very eye-opening that it's something that he's not doing correctly if you're considered in the same conversation with those people on the right, but you can't get the results as those people on the right. There's something wrong with his formula, and people don't want to admit it. And if you like Jokic, you got to be honest about it. Like if enough people, hold on, let me finish this. If enough people in the media and enough people in the fan base start saying this out loud, then eventually it's going to get to the people who need to hear it, and then he might change the way he play and the way his style is, and he might try to win more. If you want Jokic to win, you have to stop pretending like triple doubles mean just as much as getting rings. You got to stop celebrating that triple double. And you got to start asking him, please play defense. Please come off the ball and let your point guard run the show. We want to see you win. We want to see you in the finals. There's no reason you're wasting your own prime by getting put out in the first and second round in the playoffs and can't get back to the finals. And you're supposed to be the best player by a mile, and no one can stop you. And there's only one other center in the league, and he on 2 bad knees.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Can you explain to me how Shea lost to Luka in 2024?
Yeah, I did a whole episode on that. Go back and find that. Go back and find that episode. You go back and find that episode. And like one thing you can't do with me is have a conversation about one thing, and I
agree with you on
right,
Jokic. You play more defense.
Right, when I break something down, you try to do the what about thing and say, well, what about Shea? We're not going to do that. I can care less about Shea. I can care less about him. This video ain't about Shea at all. This is about what you see on the screen. So I can care less about Shea. For all I care, if you ask me why Shea got beat by Luka, he wasn't good enough yet. He wasn't a good enough leader yet. He got sent home. That's the answer.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. I'm not just here to beef. Like Jokic should play better defense and let Murray be point guard sometimes, and this is switch it up. But I'm just letting you know that. So you're saying if he wins this year, then you'll change your opinion, kind of.
No, I would give him his props. I still don't think triple-double basketball is the best way to play, and neither does Phil Jackson. And neither does Phil Jackson, and neither does Kobe Bryant. If he gets another ring, then I would have to consider saying, well, he made it work. Like, because at some point people told Michael Jordan that you can't win by getting the scoring title. Like, you can't win that way. You can't win by just being a microwave scorer. Like, you had to play more like Magic or something like that, right? People told Jordan that. And then he went out and got 6, and then they had to shut up and be like, okay, well, he made it work. Now you got people that are modeling their game after Jordan and saying, well, I want to be a dominant scorer like Jordan was and play dominant defense, and that's the formula. So if the formula is dominant scoring and dominant defense because Jordan showed us that, and everybody who copied Jordan being a dominant scorer and a dominant defender like Hakeem, Kobe, who else I had on that screen that played dominant defense? Kareem, whoever the case may be. If it's working, if it's working for them too, then that's the formula. Your best player needs to be a dominant scorer and an elite defender. Now, what Jokic is doing is showing us a different formula. What my foresight is saying is that formula is not going to work. Phil Jackson said that's accidental basketball. It's not going to work. Kobe said it's not going to work. You can't win multiple times like that. It's hard. It's already hard to win a ring and repeat and three-peat. It's really hard, but you're making it harder by playing that style. Now, if Jokic somehow figures it out and wins 2, 3, maybe 4 rings, then I have to say, well, shoot. Maybe triple-double basketball is the new way to win. But until then, I want my best player to be a dominant scorer and an elite defender.
Yeah. No, I see your points. Yeah, I don't just beef for no reason. You have a lot of good points. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I think you're also getting confused kind of Jokic and James Harden. Jokic has one of the lowest usage rates like on the ball.
Yeah, but that's advanced stats, advanced analytics.
I watch this game.
Yeah, no.
You don't see him set screens.
No. But you said usage rate. That you got to use a calculator to figure that out.
I'm saying on ball and off ball.
But I don't judge basketball players with calculators.
Do you think Jokic plays off ball or no? Have you watched Jokic play off ball ever?
Out of all the triple-double offensive players like Luka, LeBron, Westbrook, Harden, Jokic plays off the ball more than all of them. So yes, I do.
He comes off screens, set screens, rolls. He comes off.
I agree. Those other triple-double guys, they just got the ball in their hand. They don't set screens for nobody. They won't screen set for them.
There's a reason people come to Denver and they're like, you want to play with him.
I'm with you 100%. Jokic definitely does it different because he's a center. He does it different than them. He's not. But if Jokic was a guard, he'd do it the same way that Luka does it.
100%. But Jokic, he'll pass to Murray, then he'll screen, and then he'll roll, and then he'll pick and pop, come up the screen.
Yeah, but he's still.
I agree.
But he's still being the primary distributor and primary scorer, and he needs to give one.
I agree with you though. He should focus more on defense. Let Murray take over the offense sometimes, and they should mix it up, and they'll win more. So I agree with you.
Facts.
I got no beef with you. You have a lot of good points. So thank you.
All right, thank you for the call, bro.
Thank you, bro.